Apple announced the new iPhone 13 Pro and iPhone 13 Pro Max, the high end of the iPhone 13 lineup. They've got 3 brand new cameras, a 120Hz ProMotion high refresh rate display, way bigger batteries, and more. I already dropped a video on the changes in the iPhone 13 and 13 mini, which you can find here on the channel, and have even more coverage coming at you, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of it. Now let's start with the big one that I know so many people have been waiting for, the 120Hz ProMotion display. Yes, Apple has finally included a ProMotion display with adaptive refresh rate in an iPhone, and you'll find it specifically on the iPhone 13 Pro and Pro Max. Now, as I mentioned several times in the past, Apple was likely waiting until it could get LTPO displays that can support very low refresh rates as well. Here on the iPhone 13 Pro lineup, the display is able to dynamically go as high as 120 Hz, but also as low as 10 Hz, depending on what's happening on your display. Gaming and scrolling will be buttery smooth, while your battery is conserved when you're on a static image or web page. The Super Retina XDR displays themselves are the same size as last year at 6.1 and 6.7 inches, with support for up to 1000 nits peak outdoor brightness and 1200 nits when viewing HDR content. The notch at the top is also 20% smaller, the first change in size there that we've seen since it was introduced on the iPhone 10. Next, we have to talk about the new camera system. This is likely my favorite part of the iPhone keynote, where Apple flexes a bit on what they've done with the Pro camera lineup in particular. This year with the iPhone 13 Pro, Apple has given the phones an all-new 3-camera system, and unlike last year, the Pro and Pro Max have the same camera features. The wide camera offers Apple's largest sensor ever with an f1.5 aperture, which will produce better low-light shots since it captures 2.2 times more light. The ultra wide is better too. It has 92% improvement in low light situations thanks to a wider aperture. The iPhone 13 Pro telephoto camera now goes up to 3x zoom, which is up from 2.5x on the 12 Pro, enabling a 6x optical zoom range across all 3 cameras. All the cameras also now support night mode, and there's a new macro mode for taking close-up pictures of subjects at just 2 centimeters away using the ultra-wide camera. Sensor shift optical image stabilization is included on both the 13 and 13 Pro this time around. So that's the camera hardware. Now let's talk about the camera software. First, Apple announced its new photographic styles feature, which looks like a mixture of camera filters mixed in with Apple's computational photography. If you like punchier photos, similar to what you might get on a Samsung Galaxy device, for example, you can choose that and set it as your default camera style. Apple has 4 different styles to choose from if you want to use this feature: vibrant, rich contrast, warm, and cool. On the video side of things, cinematic mode was the star of the show. This allows for a rack focus effect to change the focus during a video. Cinematic mode will automatically transition focus while filming in real time, intelligently shifting focus when people enter the frame or look away from the camera. You'll also be able to manually change focus or lock focus on a particular object for more precise control, but the most impressive part to me is that you can even change the focus point and amount of blur after you finish recording the video. This is a first for any smartphone. It should also be said the front-facing camera will also support cinematic mode. The iPhone 13 Pro will also be able to film in up to 4K, 30 frames per second in ProRes, a higher quality video format that gives video editors more control when editing footage after it's been shot. However, the base 128 gig storage option will top out at 1080p 30 frames per second in ProRes mode. Apple says ProRes support will be available in a future iOS 15 update. Next up, let's talk about battery life. There are some big changes here. I expected this on the standard 13 and 13 mini, but Apple came through for the Pro users as well. Starting with the iPhone 13 Pro, you're getting an extra 1 hour and 30 minutes of battery life when compared to the iPhone 12 Pro. Even more impressive, the iPhone 13 Pro Max will get an extra 2.5 hours of battery life when compared to the iPhone 12 Pro Max. This is thanks to the more efficient A15 chip, more efficient displays, and typical software optimizations on top of the bigger physical batteries. Now, speaking of the A15 Bionic Chip, it's faster and more power efficient than last year's A14 Bionic Chip, which is to be expected. It's still a 5nm chip and still a 6-core CPU with 2 new high performance and 4 new high efficiency cores. We also get a 5-core GPU this year, which is a first in an iPhone. Apple says this makes the A15 up to 50% faster than the competition. Okay, as far as pricing and storage options go, the iPhone 13 Pro and 13 Pro Max will be available in 4 color: graphite, gold, silver, and a new super hot Sierra Blue, which is the first light annual color for the Pro series. The iPhone 13 Pro starts at $999 for 128 gigs, and the 13 Pro Max starts at $1099. Apple has also added a new 1 terabyte storage size this year that's exclusive to the Pro models. You can pre-order them on Friday and they'll be available on September 24th. Let me know what you think of the new iPhone 13 Pro models. Are you picking one of these up, going with the regular 13, or sticking with something else entirely? Let me know in the comments down below and I'll meet you there for further discussion. Thanks for watching as always, guys. I appreciate your support. I'm Andrew Webbers and I will catch you in the next video.